My name is Kerry Walker. I hope you're doing good today, and I want to thank you for watching this video. But I hope you don't just watch it for mere entertainment. I want to tell you an unbelievable story that's true that happened to me, where I was forced to sell my home because of a terrible tragedy in my life. And my custom home that I spent 15 or 20 hours a day for 2 full years to custom design the home. I have a 4-year degree in architectural engineering, and I did a complete set of working drawings for this home. Actually 2 sets. One set as a ranch style home, one level ranch style, and redesigned it by the bank's request to put it on the side of a hill at the corner of the Etowah River and Lake Allatoona in Cherokee County, Georgia. A very beautiful location, one of the nicest locations in the southeast in my opinion at one time. It's being destroyed by huge homes being built on a 20-foot easement now. But when I was forced to sell my home on this property, it was very dear to my family and to my father, a place to go camping, hunting, fishing, and swimming, and boating ever since I was a kid. I first camped there when I was about 2.5 years old. You know, on the Corps of Engineer property. My property at one time was 6.5 acres, backed up to Corps of Engineers property, and I had to sell 2.19 acres, and then I was left with a little over 4 acres. You know, in the house, custom designed home. But I ended up selling the house and the land. But when I sold it, I did all kinds of legal documents. I had a registered survey done. I'm very familiar with how things should be done in the lease of a piece of property. And I leased this little tract of land instead of buying it because it was AG land, agricultural, and you had to have a minimum of 2 acres to own it. So I leased this tract of land because I wanted to have, you know, losing this land was like losing my right arm in a way, because I was very close to this land. And I wanted to have my still have my access to this land by leasing back a 1/3 acre tract, paid in full for $85,000. $85,000 paid in full upon the sale of my home to less and accept this 1/3 acre tract in a 99-year fully transferable lease. So whoever bought that land, or bought that home and that land, or whoever acquired it, even through a foreclosure, my lease would transfer to them. Well, it was foreclosed on, and in a chain of process, Wells Fargo Bank ended up buying the note, getting the note on this property. And Wells Fargo is known in this country for doing dirty deeds to people by foreclosing on their land illegally, by taking their land illegally and unethically, and I stress the unethical aspect of it here. And in this case, Wells Fargo took this property from me without any concerns for the contracts that I had, without any concerns for the fact that I had excluded this 1/3 acre tract of land upon the sale of that land, of the house and the land, to Lou Toback. And when Lou Toback refinanced it, he claims he did let him know about this tract of land, but maybe he didn't. But any diligent search or inquiry would have come upon the fact that I stayed in this cabin quite often, that there was someone living there. That's a fenced-in cabin with a fence around it, and there were dogs there during the time that this land was refinanced. So I was able to keep my dogs there. I came there frequently, and I stayed there on occasion. So the thing is, Wells Fargo, through the Cherokee County Court, had a judge sign an order to take my property from me and to have my property trashed out, even though there was legal notices posted by Dyer and Rushbridge attorneys at law through Jeff Rushbridge, a very good attorney in Cherokee County, one of the only honest attorneys I've been able to find in Georgia. And he had me post signs that he made for me telling them, do not disturb or trash out this property as it is in legal dispute. Well, they did it. They trashed out my property through the Cherokee County Sheriff's Department, which I happen to have a $20 million lawsuit pending at the time for my false arrest in 2001 by them for a crime I not only did not commit but was a victim, which is a whole other story. And that's why I lost my home in the first place. So Wells Fargo had a judge sign an order for them to take my property unethically and against any good judgment of common law, against all the contracts I had and a legal registered land survey of the 1/3 acre tract that was excluded in the sale of my house and my land, and the land that I actually owned before and lost because of the tactics of Cherokee County and a very crooked and corrupt detective named Detective Preston Peavy. And you can search Kerry Walker's story and learn all about that story and this one. So here I am with a lawsuit against Wells Fargo and against Lou Toback, but especially against Wells Fargo, who bought out this note and has illegally and unethically taken my land, trashed out belongings that went back to my childhood. I had that cabin full of every personal belonging, photo albums, antiques, fish my family caught, all kinds of personal heirlooms that went back to my childhood, plaques, pictures, oil painting of my beautiful, sweet, beautiful, patriotic mother who died under the stress of this insanity. And here I am wondering what has become of this country. Why has the individual lost their significance? The individual is no longer important. The government's important. Banks and these corporations, these corporate structures have become important, but somehow the individual, you and me, has lost their significance. The only way to have a great country, again, is to go back to the individual having significance, where the individual matters. So I'm asking you to stand up for the individual. Stand up for the rights of the individual. And that's the only hope. There's too much tragedy going on with people losing their homes and their property, these big banks that have no concern for the rights of the individual. And I want my land back. And I deserve my land back from Wells Fargo, who corruptedly and unethically and unlawfully took my land. Thank you for watching this video. Peace.